Oh, the story. Okay, so here's the story. Check this out. So there was this guy. He owned a lot of land. He was a farmer guy. He had two kids. One of the kids, he was a military guy. I'm not gonna say what branch, but he was a military guy. So he would go out there and he was fight wars. Well, the younger one, he would stay home and he helped his dad in the ranch, feed cattle, do whatever. So one day, the older son was out there. He was at war close by. I don't know if it was war, but it's probably a little battle, whatever, doing exercises. And the dad told the younger son, "Is hey, take this out to your brother. Go take him some food. Take him some lunch. Mom just made this. Take him food." He goes, "Okay." So the little brother goes out there, takes him his food, and when he's going out there, he sees the battle line, and he sees his brother and the troops and everybody, and then there's this guy out there just talking crazy. He said, "You know what?" He's all, "Who is this guy? Why is he talking, saying that he can beat you guys? And he can't beat us. He can't beat who we are. You don't know who we work for."
Does you know my last name?
Yeah, he don't know nothing.
You know what hood I'm from?
Right? So don't you know I'm loco? That type of stuff. You know what I mean? So he's like, what the hell? Why is this guy doing this? Why is he saying that? Why are you guys letting him say that? So he went up to the guy. He goes, "Hold on, I got this." Gave his brother his food. He goes, "I got this."
The tacos de chorizo.
No, it was birria. It was a queso birria back in the day. That's when they first started it. Good stuff. So then he goes out there. He goes, "Hey, man, who are you talking to?" He's like, "Who are you, little guy?" Because he was a little scrawnier than his brother. His brother's buff. That's why he was in the military. So he was a little small little guy. So he goes out there. He goes, "Hey, who were you talking to?" He goes, "I'm talking to you." He goes, "I'll rip your head off." The enemy guy's telling this. He goes, "I will rip your head off." I don't know. If you're from the hood, you don't let that go. You got to get off on people when they start telling you they're going to do something. So he's like, "Dude, you don't know who you're messing with." And he's like, "I know who I'm messing with. I'm going to kill all of you guys. That's what I'm going to do." And there's a lot of homies out there. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of servicemen out there just doing their thing. And this little guy's like, "No, you ain't going to do that because you don't know me. You don't know my brother. You don't know who we are." He's like, "What you going to do?" He goes, "What are you going to do?" He goes, "You try to do something and I'll destroy you." And I don't know if you guys have been through a lot, but there's a lot of things in life. It's not necessarily people, but there's situations in life that are, like this, like cancer, diabetes. I'm diabetic. That's my monster right now in life because I got to deal with diabetes every day. It always tells me I'm going to kill you, I'm going to get you, but I don't let it. Take a lot of pills, a lot of shots. But there's things in life that still become our enemies in our own personal life. So this kid says, "No, you're not going to do this to me." He goes, "You don't know who I work for. You don't know what I do. You don't know who I work for." So he goes, "Oh, yeah." He goes, "Oh, what are you going to do?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, watch this." So this kid, he was a shepherd boy. So he went out there. He had a little wrist rocket. I don't know if you guys, this is in the newspaper era, of course. Wrist rocket, you used to put on your wrist. You used to get little metal BBs and pink, to shoot. It's a slingshot.
I think I had one.
Do you guys? No, you didn't. Yeah. If you don't remember papers, you didn't have a slingshot. Know that. Damn it. There's no way. Don't mess up my story. So this kid said, "Oh, yeah, watch this." And he grabbed the slingshot. He grabbed the little rocket and he just shot him. Pow! Hit him right there, right between the eyes, and killed him. And then he told him, he goes, "See," he goes, "I didn't." And he told his brother, he goes, "This is what it took. It took me knowing that I can do it to defeat him. That's all you guys had to do. But you guys were kind of running scared, backing up. Why?" He's like, "Don't walk backwards, always walk forward." And here at work, I tell my guys the same thing. I say, "You know what? Unless you try, you're probably going to fail. So don't go into something half-weighted, if you will. Be confident, be sure of what you got, especially when you know what you have behind you. And so he was victorious. And because he did that, he conquered this guy. This guy was like the main guy for the ops, if you will, for you youngsters.
He's like the Rock.
Well, I don't know if I'd call him the Rock. He built like the Rock, probably. Big old dude.
Nice.
He had a little size on him, kind of like Bautista.
Bautista.
Yeah, Bautista, big old ginormous dude. But he nailed him in the head. That's all it took. It took one rock right to the dome.
All it takes is one.
That's all it takes. Mm-hmm. But I think for those of you that know what story I'm telling, this is the story of David and Goliath in the Bible. And it just goes to show there's a lot of things that we can do if we know who we have behind us. And it's one of those, like, everybody puts on memes on Facebook, and I don't have Instagram. So like Facebook, they say, if you know, you know. If you know who's behind you and who's giving you the power and the ability to do stuff, then you shouldn't have no problem doing what you do. And I try to apply that to my kids every day. Like, look, dude, you got to try. You have to pull forward. Know that you always have backup. It may not be physically me or his mom or his dad or whatever, but we have who we have, and
There's always gonna be somebody bigger and badder,
always.
or that you think is bigger and badder.
Yeah. And that's true stuff.
Yeah, there's always these obstacles too. It doesn't even have to be a person or an object in a way, It's your personal obstacles.
Situation.
Yeah, like dealing with pandemics.
Right, exactly. COVID was a big enemy for a lot of people. A lot of people lost family members. There was nations getting shut down.
Yeah.
It didn't just hit us here in, North County or, Riverside County. It was worldwide. Like, people were literally shutting down. I think China and all that was bad.
David's dad must have been proud. Ir a tu hermanito.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. This. Then he can't.
He got to raise his allowance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it just took a slingshot. But that slingshot's our faith. That little rock was just our faith.
Yeah.
And he was used to doing it. In the story, they say he used to go out there and kill lions and bears. And he went out there and dethroned Goliath. And Goliath was a monster. He was trying to just kill and the Bible says he killed the army of the living God. He said he was going to kill him, but no, David knew that he wouldn't. And if you guys know the story of David, that's a whole other story.
It's a big line.
As a kid, listening to the story, it's unbelievable. Like, a slingshot in your hand. Relax.
Right.
But recently, I've seen some YouTube videos of people who are masters at this slingshot, and man, they can really get down with it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like,
I'm gonna have to check that.
I think they're in the Middle East, and you'll see stuff like they're just like on point, like hitting cans and everything and stuff like that. So, oh yeah.
Yeah, those things are.
It's a weapon.
Yep. But
Yeah, that's a really good story. Anything's possible. The David and Goliath. Everybody uses that during like sporting events too, when it's the underdog versus the top guy.
Yes.
David and Goliath. Let's see who's gonna win.
Like the Raiders against every opponent.
That's like you said. It's taken out of context. It's not about who's gonna win. It's about how much faith you have behind a little idea, a little love, a little whatever it is you can be. That little rock, being whatever it could be.
Well, does the Bible say it's a little rock? And it could have been.
It was just a pebble.
Pebble.
They called it a pebble.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like our podcast in Louis North County, this is us shooting a rock.
Yeah.
This is us trusting in God, trusting in ourselves to know that we're going to reach out people. And like I said, we're going to use our platform for a bunch of different things. It's going to be just, good communication, because we have great rapport here. I've only known Tommy for a week. I met him last Monday when we did our launch. I've been here with Victor going on 6 months. Great guy. Thank you again for the sponsorship. Shout out Centric Auto Repair.
It seems like I've known Ricky for a long time.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't know it was 6. I didn't know it was only 6 months. You guys seem like you guys know each other for a while.
I'm gonna start calling him Abuelito.
Oh, here we go.
Ricky.
All because of the newspaper.
No, Tommy I've known since what?
Jeez, bro. I think maybe when I was around 23, 24 when I met you.
Nah, probably even before.
Probably before that. No, yeah, I was like 18.
Yeah.
18, 19 years old.
Before papers.
Yeah, before the club.
After newspapers, I guess.
We've seen
Anyway,
back then.
I'll never forget when I first talked to Victor. I had been talking to him, and then he called me and goes, "Hey, can you meet today?" I was like, "Yeah." I was on my way from Blythe picking up my grandson with my daughter, and he called me. He's like, "Hey, can you meet today?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Let me go home, change," and I told him what my situation was. He goes, "Okay." He goes, "I'll drive up to you." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So he drove up. He met me at a little taco shop there in Temecula. and when I got off my car, I'm talking to this man on the phone. Never really looked him up or nothing. I'm not a stalker. But when I walked up, I was like, this dude's beard down to his middle of his chest, had creased out Levi's on. I was like, oh, hell yeah. We're going to battle. This is going to go great. So we sat there. He bought me lunch. We ate and talked, and he told me he had to talk to the boss, and they called me a couple of days later, and here I am. And now, again, this goes with kind of like the story, him him and Teresa have been great to me. They've been great to my family. They've actually they went to my son and my grandson's party, and they were welcomed. Everyone liked them, and Victor's just a great guy. You guys will get to know Victor because I am going to interview him here probably in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a one-on-one so you guys can get to know who the man is. But it's been great, and this is what I needed. This is what I needed. I needed a reset, and Victor gave it to me.
That's your faith, baby, right there.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes,
here
sir.
we are. Centric is David.
Yeah,
Centric is the little guy.
that's right.
I remember when I first moved into this complex, and I'm not playing like the other shops in this complex, made fun of me, as this little Mexican shop. They would call it the Mexican shop,
And we are all Mexican here.
And now we went from 2 bays, and now we're the biggest shop here. Thank God. I remember people used to call, and I don't like to get religious or anything like that, but people would call, and we talked to them over the phone, and then they show up for the first time. Nice to meet you, Victor. And they're like, I don't know why, but I just felt like this is the right place for me. In my head, it would always click like, I know why.
Yeah, we all know why. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him, and the blessings all come from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say that to them, but it was just every time people would say stuff like that, it was always in my head like,
Right.
I know why.
Absolutely.
So
That's him talking to you right there, brother. I'm a big believer in that. I mean, that's happened to me on multiple occasions where I'm just like, this is just supposed to be, like he's working. If you listen, good things will happen.
100%.
If you think you got everything in control in your own hands,
Right.
then you're gonna have a tough time. You might feel like you're having a great time, and you might be doing the things that make your body happy, your brain, your everything happy. Hit those little chromosomes and make you go, woo, yeah, let's do this again. But at the end of the day, that's not the plan.
Right.
I do now is my plan is his plan. Whatever he wants me to do, I'm gonna do. I'll pray, and if it leads me this way, then yeah, it's just, can you listen?
Says his time's not our time.
I've ignored him plenty of time. Trust me.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You get stagnant sometimes, and sometimes you just don't want to deal with stuff, so you separate yourself.
That David story is a good story. I mean, he ends up becoming king.
King, yes.
And that's on the line of.
what are you saying? What are you saying?
Yeah.
You got to be king. Centric's gonna be king here, bro.
We have Samuel right outside, or not Samuel. What was Solomon? Solomon's right outside.
King Belmon's.
Right.
But I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, because of the faith and the work that David did in his life, his son was shown favor, and it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
David was a real gangster.
He was
Real gangster.
one of the first ones.
was
That's the OG.
He was the real shorty.
That was the well. I don't know how tall he was.
Well, he said he was small. He was really small when it came to.
I'm small.
But it's usually the smaller guys that are really tough.
Right?
I'm
growing
small.
up.
You're not small. I thought as tall as you.
Small guys.
This guy thinks he's like 5'11". With your heels?
Wow.
6'2"?
Yeah, with Fletch, with that movie, with Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2" with my afro. No, it's good times.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Let's
guys.
wrap it up.
Thanks for cruising by, and thank you, Ricky, for the story.
Absolutely.
Great story.
My pleasure.
We look forward to hearing more stories like that. I liked how you talked about it, and I was visualizing everything, like, this little kid telling his brothers, like, what are you guys doing, fool?
Back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Are you scared of this big dude?
Yeah.
I got this.
for real.
Nice.
But anyway, let me shout out one more time, Centric Auto Repair, for powering in the Loop, North County. We'll see you guys next time.